Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Nethergate Resurrection. And yes, I will continue rolling that R. Well, we took a look up at some old ruins here. Crypts, I believe. Some spirit asked us to do something, but hell if I know how the hell we're supposed to do that. And we're just exploring around down here as much as we can right now. We found this goblin camp, so let's go take a look at it. Nestled in a hollow between these grassy hills, you find a small, peaceful village. The inhabitants are struggling to grow their crops, keep their livestock alive, and live long lives, much like villagers pretty much everywhere. The difference, however, is that in this village, the inhabitants are goblins. The short-fanged creatures are armed and watchful, wary of anyone who tries to take their bit of peace away from them. Of course, for all you know, some of their huts contain human prisoners waiting to be eaten. Perhaps you should attack. On the other hand, a peaceful approach might yield useful information. We'll be peaceful. Holding your hands out in a display of friendship, you will approach the village. Fortunately, the goblins don't seem up for a fight right now. One of their shamans approaches to speak with you. He starts to grunt at you.
You humans! Humans hack on us! We kill you! More humans come to kill us! Tell what you want and be staying away. We no like.
Unfortunately, you don't really have anything to ask them for. They're too poor to have anything to sell and too dumb for anything else. You shake your heads and back away. Okay, so that was actually nothing. Now, what sort of a woman would build a hut here in this smelly, bug-ridden place right at the edge of a huge marsh? While you're looking at her, she's tending her garden just outside her rather nice, pleasant home. She's fairly old, at least 25, and her back is bent from years of toil. Her garden must have taken a great deal of work to create. Looking closer, you can see why. It's all valuable herbs, all of them useful for potion making. She's standing over a medicinal treasure trove. This starts to make you suspicious. She seems innocent, but she could be a treacherous witch or a hostile magical creature in disguise. It may be best to be careful. Let's approach. The woman was quite absorbed in her work. Your approach startles her. Oh! I didn't hear you approach. Apologies. She seems friendly, at least, and very at home dealing with dirt and rocks. My name is Becca. Welcome to my humble home. You asked what she's doing out here. Why, I'm an herbalist. I found the land here on the marsh is best for growing the plants I need. It's unpleasant, true, but necessary for my craft. You must have looked uncomfortable when she mentioned her craft, because she quickly adds, I'm a healer, that is what all the herbs are for. I provide healing to all the creatures of Shadowvale. I can help you as well. Would you like to purchase my services? All right. Healing herbs, spiritual herbs, energetic herbs, mistletoe, balm of life. You needed to cast certain obscure Shadowvale rituals having to do with the raising of the dead. We're probably going to need a few of those once we get whatever spell allows us to do that, but for now I think we're good. And I see something here. One of my characters has become diseased. This is a dry, rocky patch of land. There's a small abandoned campsite in the middle of the clearing. The ashes are still warm, but whoever was here, they left. Eventually you depart. As you do, you think that you can see someone watching you. Yeah, we need to purge venom! Okay, that went well. And a quick rest. And we recover everything. Because that was kind of pointless. We gotta be careful in here. Your woodcraft skill has enabled you to evade these hostile monsters. Do you want to fight them anyway? I wish I knew what kind they were, but no, let's not. We can avoid it. Huzzah for that. Oh, that's interesting. Someone has gotten to this hill before you. It's a family of lizards. There are several of them. They're quite large, and they're looking down from the summit at you with their big, beady eyes. Each of them is the size of a large wolf. Things like this are still very unnerving to you. Until recently, you had no idea that creatures like this existed. Now you have to debate whether to fight them or not. Even though you must look like a very tasty morsel to them, they don't attack. Maybe they're smarter lizards. Or maybe they're just not hungry. Well, it's their hill and they're welcome to it. You back away. I think we can go up there. Let me just save. Alright. Attack the lizards! Nothing finishes a long day of marching like big slabs of tasty lizard meat. Battle is joined! Onwards to battle! For Mars! And oh dear. Maybe this was a bad idea. Oh, god dang it! Again? Why does that always happen? Alright, you know what? You can... That did not work as well as I'd hoped. And we are getting completely decimated. Okay. Perhaps this was a poor choice. Yeah, we're getting eaten. That did not go well. Okay. Yeah, it's the Lizard's Hill. They're welcome to it. You find something. If you hadn't walked right over it, you might never have noticed it. It's a small ball made of crystal or glass or some other shiny, smooth, pink, hard, translucent substance. It's about 2 inches long and quite light. The most interesting thing about it is that it glows slightly. A gentle, warm glow comes from the middle. You touch it gingerly. It's slightly warm. It's very pretty, but that doesn't mean it isn't dangerous. It might be safer to just leave the thing here. I think we can take it. A special item. That's interesting. Special items. Glowing ball. Strange. No idea what it is, but hopefully we'll find out eventually. Oop, don't want to step on there, and... Huh, that's interesting. Let's see. Ah, there's something here. This is a ruined Roman outpost, a small wooden tower built to keep an eye on the area, and perhaps of movements across the river. It's fallen into disuse, though, and is gradually falling apart. For the moment, though, it's a center of activity. It's being held by a small Roman patrol, which is using it to help defend themselves against a rampaging band of goblins. The soldiers have the tower secure, and the goblins are trying to break in. Neither side has seen you. You can help the soldiers defend themselves, or you can just silently slip away. They are Romans! We are Romans! For the glory of Mars! Attack! Your fellow soldiers are under attack, and from a bunch of drooling savages at that. It's too much of an insult to withstand. You draw your weapons and charge the goblins, taking them completely by surprise. The other Romans rush out of the tower to help. Goblin Shaman. Ooh, thank you! Ooh. Alright then. Go, O Romans! We can assist greatly! That one is about to die, though. Well, one Roman passed. All that remains is that shaman, I believe. Well, and those 2 bears. Oh, come on! Seriously? Really? No, I'm reloading that! That was cheap and ridiculous! Okay, this time we're gonna kill them, and we're not going to end up losing our guy again. He always seems to be the first one to die. Which is extremely annoying. Clearly the bears need to die fast. Come on, kill the bears! Oh, the bears are dead. And those Roman legions are very strong. Of course, we are Rome. Why would we not be strong? Victory! What all was dropped? Let's see. Poor leather armor, crude dagger, wooden shield. Nothing we really need. At last the dust settles. One of the soldiers approaches you. Thank you. Things almost looked a little tight for a moment there. We better head back and take care of our wounded. The soldiers leave, nodding in gratitude as they go. Good. Now, what's down here? The land around here is totally, inexplicably dead. The dirt is coated with thin deposits of salt which crunch loudly under your feet. No plants live except for a few pitiful marsh weeds, despite the great fecundity of the rest of Shadowvale. Then you see, off to the west, something which is alive. It looks like an ancient, hunched-over human, thickly wrapped in gray robes. It looks up at you. You think it's an old woman. You can't tell for sure. She's a few hundred feet away. She raises an arm and beckons you forward. You suspect a trap, but the ground between you and her seems safe. We'll approach. You carefully approach, looking all around for any sign of a trap. When you get close, the old woman says in a loud, clear voice, "At last you are here. Approach us. We have much aid for you." Then quickly she fades away. In the span of 3 blinks' time, she is gone. This must be those crones that were mentioned. You know what? Yep. Poison. Your skill in woodcraft comes in handy. Without it, you would never have noticed that there are some small plants growing at the base of the rock face. They might be useful for potion making. Healing, spiritual, and energetic herbs. Ow, ow, ow. I'm just going to run in small circles for a bit while I heal up. Handy little thing. There are several large stone statues here, buried up to their knees in the thick dust. They tilt at peculiar angles as if they're sinking into the dirt. You thread your way past the faceless stone leviathans. You make your way into a small vale which is just as lifeless and grim as the land outside. The only point of interest is a small dingy hut, from which a thin wisp of black smoke rises into the sky. You expected something a little more impressive. This must be the crones that was mentioned. Dried meat, bowl, and spoon. Well, we could use the dried meat, I think. Doesn't look like there's anything out here, though. Oh. Nothing but the hut, I'd imagine. What you see when you step through the curtain is astounding. That is, assuming you haven't gone mad, which is entirely possible. You are at the south end of a huge gallery stretching off into the distance. From the outside, this hut looked like a small, simple affair. On the inside, it's absolutely enormous. How is this possible? You have no idea. At the far end, the gallery opens into a huge chamber. Perhaps you will find answers there. As you start to slip down this side passage, you hear a voice calling to you from the north. "Why, pet, you may wish to be careful down that way. Not all of the rooms are safe. Maybe you would be safer in here with us." You look north and see a hunched-over figure shuffling back into the large cavern. Sure. The long gallery finally ends in a huge domed cavern, several times larger than the hut appeared to be from the outside. It's a dark, smoky chamber, filled with bones, hanging bundles of herbs, and the smells of sour soup and charred meat. The center of the room is dominated by a massive bubbling cauldron, circled by 3 ancient women. Each is staring at it intently, focusing their milky eyes on the swirling, steaming liquid. Then one of them speaks. "They have arrived. At last we have brought them before us. Now the great work may be undone in earnest." Then the second one speaks. "They want guidance. The reality of Shadowvale is strange and confusing for them. They come from a dry, desolate, empty world. We must guide them." Finally the third crone, the one closest to you, speaks. "Come in, children. Come in and speak with us. We are strange and fearsome and horrid to your eyes, yet we mean to aid you, and our help is freely given with no obligation required. Come and speak." As they talk, you begin to feel more relaxed. Whether this is because you are genuinely comforted, or because they are working some spell upon you, you aren't sure. This crone is hunched to the point of almost being doubled over. Her tiny body is concealed deep within the thick folds of her robes. All you can see of her skin are her fingertips, which end in long black claws. Her wispy voice emerges from the depths of her hood. "I am Vengeance. Vengeance. You come to aid me, know it or not." "What are you doing?" "I ponder the future. I ponder revenge." "Can you see into the future?" "This valley looks forward in time, into the vast expanses of the future. There we see humans. 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 Everywhere." "What do you think of humans?" There is no response. Vengeance stares out at you silently from the shadows. Despite your discipline and training, you start to feel very cold and alone. "Are you seeking revenge against someone?" "No." Not yet. You may attend to your own future for now. I will attend to it myself soon enough. What about this one? This woman is the very caricature of old age. If you saw a drawing of her with her scattering of teeth and her thinning gray hair and her dim eyes, you would dismiss it as a cartoon. Yet here she is, looking at you with a predatory gleam in her eyes. You ask who she is. You are foolish indeed if you think I will share my name as easily as you humans do. For now, you may call me Desire. I wish, and I would use you to bring my wishes to reality. For pay. What is your purpose here? I have come here with my sisters, who you may call Mystery and Vengeance. We come to deal with the events of Shadowvale. Each has our purpose. For example, I wish you to perform a task for us. What events have you come to deal with? Her speech is straightforward and businesslike. Much happens here. Many beings have congregated here. This includes several entities with whom we have scores to settle. This brings us to our tasks for you. These tasks will have rewards. We have much wealth and, of course, our blessing pool. What good is the blessing pool? In one of the chambers not far off the main gallery, you will find a pool. If you dip your weapons into it, they may absorb magic and become more powerful. You may have one use of it free. To gain more, you will have to complete our tasks. Well, wealth does interest me. There is a room that way. She points to the east. It has boxes. As you complete our tasks, the boxes will open for you. Beware, though. If you steal our treasures from any of the other rooms, you may suffer an unpleasant fate. Be content with your rewards. Don't be greedy. That was a warning. A warning? Can you be more specific? Just stay out of our chambers, or you may trigger an unpleasant trap. Tell me of Mystery. Mystery is the eldest of us. She will reveal to you the secrets of what is happening in Shadowvale, so don't ask me. Tell me of Vengeance. Vengeance will tell you of the future. More I cannot say. Desire stares at you openly, hungrily. You start to wonder what she wants. Your treasures, your death, or something far worse. Do you still desire? For I do too. It consumes me. What do you desire? Directly to the north is a temple, run by the people of Nethergate. It offends us. At its heart you will find a golden goblet. Go there, steal it, and bring it to me. You will be well rewarded. Where is this temple? The temple is due north of here. You will have to cross the glittering bridge to get to it. The presence of their altar, so close to our home, offends us. We trust that you will have no qualms about defiling a savage altar, a site of sacrifices and profane rites. Perhaps. One more to speak with. You meet one of the 3 crones of Shadowvale. Though she looked human at first, up close you can see that she looks different. Her ears are slightly pointed, and she looks old beyond reckoning. Her skin is dry and white as bone. She peers at you with eyes made milky with age. I sense you wish my name. My name is not something I say often or lightly. You may call me Mystery, for making clear the mysteries around you is my purpose. Who are you? I am one of the 3, along with my sisters. Each of us has our purpose here, our way of assisting you. 3 old witches together, conspiring. This sounds familiar somehow. You may have heard the lying tales of the Greeks, those schemers and slanderers you conquered. No. No, we are not the Fates or the Furies. We are old, but not eternal. We are but 3 arcane sisters, with our own mysteries. Do you know the Furies? The Greeks have legends of them. She flinches. There are some names it is unwise to discuss lightly. Perhaps we should end this until you are capable of speaking with more care. Curious. Who are the 3 sisters? You may call me Mystery, for I am here to unravel the mysteries that have ensnared you. Then there is Desire, who desires things from you in return, and Vengeance, for that is her purpose. You should speak with both in turn. What can you tell me of Desire and Vengeance? It is not for me to usurp their purposes. Each is right here. You should speak with her. She points at one of her sisters with a weak and palsied arm. The pale crone stares out at you from within the shadows of her hood. It must be the dim light in here, but you would swear that her face changes slightly every time you look at her. What mysteries will you reveal? Ah, you younglings are so impatient. There is much I will unfold before you, but it is not yet the time. First, there are some answers you must obtain for yourself. These answers will be found in the ruined hall. There you will learn of the schemes of the city. What do you consider young? You are so young. Oh, I remember when I was less than 100 years old. I was so spirited then. Curious. Let's see if we can find these, let's see. Rewards chamber. Well, we're not going to take anything from there. Pets. Probably want to stay out of there. Prisoner, keep out. Okay, then. Let's see. Please be careful in here. Valuable specimen. Well, that's a magic barrier that's blocking us. Steak! Sure, what the hell. A bit of food is always helpful. The two shallow pools in this cave are filled with frogs, newts, and other amphibians. You wonder whether they're pets, food, or just pests. Oh, I don't know, and I don't think we need to find out. Prisoner, keep out. Yeah, I think we'll keep out of the prisoner rooms. This is a living chamber of one of the three crones. There is a wooden chest by one of the walls, which looks intriguing. However, there's something about this room which makes you very nervous. You feel like someone is looking over your shoulder. We will take nothing from their rooms. And that leads down. I think we'll avoid going down, for now at least. Another room of the crones. Let's see. The floor of this cave isn't bare stone as usual, but an intricate and peculiar arrangement of tiles. You look for some sort of sense in it, but you can't find any. At the west end of the room you see a pedestal. There's something white on it. There's a very small key sitting on this pedestal. It's carved out of bone. Very unusual. We will not upset the crones. They do seem quite powerful and dangerous. Probably of the third crone there. Let's see. Blessing pool. There is a shallow pool here and a slightly elevated tiled basin. The water is about an inch deep and glows slightly. At first you aren't sure what to do with the pool. Then you see that the tiles at the bottom of the pool form a mosaic. It's of a warrior dipping his blade into a river. Perhaps this is what you're supposed to do. Do you? When you dip your blades in the water, all of your equipped melee weapons will get a permanent blessing that will make them more effective. Perhaps not now. Well, tempting, actually, but I don't think so right now. 3 statues have been set up on pedestals here. It's a rather unusual motive. Each is of a Celtic warrior looking very surprised and fearful, attempting to shield his eyes. You aren't sure that the aesthetics of it appeal to you. I see wooden doors and wooden walls, and I'm guessing they're there for a reason. And considering the suggestion of Celtic warriors looking surprised at something, all in stone, I'm guessing basilisk, or something like that. Prisoner, keep out. Okay then. That seems to be everything there, so... yeah, let's leave. We have gotten a quest from the crones, curious as they are. That said, that's just about everything there is here. All that's left now is going over this bridge. I think we can. Alright, we'll fight to get over it. Attack! No, you shout. If you will not give us free passage, you must battle us to the death. You wait to see what their response is. They're stunned, amazed that anyone would dare stand up to them. For a moment, they aren't sure what to do. Then they figure it out. They call their relatives out from under the bridge, pull out their weapons, and lumber forward to attack. Fomorians! What the hell are Fomorians? And that's a huge Fomorian. Oh, jeez! Holy crap, those things are strong. So, I'm guessing attacking them is not a wise idea. Wow. Well. Maybe we should pay their toll. I mean, their toll is only 5 coins, so here. The humanoids collect the 5 coins and with difficulty count them. Once they're satisfied that you've paid the toll, they let you pass. And suddenly a ghoul! I think we can wait. Oh. Yes, there we are. There we go. Okay, those ghouls are dead. Good. Now, we have more exploration and such to do, as we need to find this, whatever it is. The ruined hall. Oh, there's something there. Oh hey. Your knowledge of woodscraft helps you notice that some of the little plant clusters hanging from the branches of a nearby oak tree are mistletoe. Mistletoe can be used to make some powerful concoctions. Do you pick some? Sure. You carefully cut off a few small sprigs of mistletoe. The rest of the sprigs are too small for use. If you return in a few days, perhaps more of it will be ready. Nice. Let me just give all these things to Septimus. You should probably make potions sometime. And before we head further north, I just want to take a look up here, because we can. Several small brown things fly overhead. You look up, thinking to bag a bird for your dinner. They're not birds. They're like little people, a few inches high each, naked with brown skin and leathery wings. They circle over your heads a few times, laugh at you, and fly up into the branches of the trees before you have time to react. They were beautiful things, fast, nimble, and wild. Unfortunately, not hostile. Fairies, perhaps? Curious. Hello. As you walk into this glade, you catch a glimpse of movement in the bushes. You run to see what it was, and are just in time to see a brown, pudgy wood sprite about a foot tall laboriously flutter off into the woods. Soon it's out of sight. It obviously wanted nothing to do with you, or with Romans in general. Alright. I just want to take a look at this house. You find a tiny hut. Really, really tiny. 6 feet by 6 feet tiny. There's a tiny bit of light shining out from under the door, so someone must be home, but you can't imagine why anyone would choose to live in such a ridiculously small place. There's a door. It's about 5 feet high, a reasonable size for a human. You could knock on it. Of course, any misanthrope who would live in a wasteland like this, in a shack like this, may not provide the best conversation. We'll approach. You walk up to the door and gently knock. Instantly, the door squeaks open a crack. A squinting eyeball peeks out at you, and a bitter, creaky voice emerges from the shadows.
Quiet, you! I'm not deaf! Oh, warriors, malcontents, blockheads, that's all I need. Go away, you, and leave me to my peace.
You start to turn away, but the hermit says,
Wait! I'll let you do something for me. There's too many of you running around. I have a message for you to take. You'll get paid on delivery. Will you take it?
Sure. The hermit throws out a grimy papyrus scroll. It rolls up against your foot.
Good. My friend lives in a shack like this to the north. Take it to him. He'll pay you. Now go away.
He slams the door shut. Yeah, I think we can do that. To the north. Ooh. I'm guessing on the other side of this swamp. Once again, the nature of the veil around you suddenly and drastically changes. In a moment, the veil turns from bright and warm and cheery to dark and cold. As if on cue, black clouds march across the sky, turning the light of the sun gray and dim. As you start to turn cold, you notice bones in the lifeless dirt around you. No plants grow here, and while there are pools of water, they're salty and brackish, good for nothing but creating mosquitoes and disease. Looking to the east, you can see the center of the devastation. There is a small hollow in the valley wall, which contains a hill. At the top of the hill, you can see 2 massive stone pillars, visible even from here. You can't help but be curious about what's up there. However, if the devastation around you has anything to do with those pillars, it may be the greatest foolhardiness to approach them. They are likely to have powerful defenders. We will investigate soon, but first I want to... There's a small patch of green plants and with tiny flowers growing at the base of this twisted dead tree. It's the only living plant you've seen in this wasteland. Unfortunately, you can't figure out what it is. I just want to see if I can find this hut that guy was talking about. He said it's to the north, but I don't see it. Ah, is this it? You discover a small hut, perched in a nice spot beside this small lake. You don't see any signs of someone being home, but someone must live here. The garden by the hut looks well tended. Maybe you'll find something interesting if you get closer. You manage to reach the hut unmolested and start looking around. Nobody answers your knock, so you poke your head inside. Nobody is in there, and the furnishings are very simple. There's only a pallet, a crude table and chair, and an empty pot hanging over some coals. The coals are still warm. Whoever lives here must have been by recently. Seeing nothing of interest inside, you examine the garden. It's quite nice. Not only are there some vegetables, but it looks like there's a small patch of herbs as well. You could help yourself. However, it wouldn't be very nice to the occupants.
We're not stealing the herbs.
You manage to resist the temptation to steal the resident blind. You walk away, feeling virtuous. No sign of... When you reach the shore, you notice a large, ugly fish swimming to the west. It's moving along the surface of the water. As it bobs along, you realize that it's talking to yourself. It says,
3 wishes. What was I thinking?
It ignores you as it passes.
Let me go. I'll give you 3 wishes, I say. Very bright. I bet I could have gotten away with 2 wishes. Oh, 1. Bloody hell, now what am I going to do?
Then it swims out of earshot. Well, okay, I can guess what that might have been related to, and suddenly skeletons! Okay, well, that was odd and random. But, yeah, okay then. I think we can kill that thing. Yeah, we can kill it easily. There we go. He said it was to the north, but I don't see it. Sorry about that, just kind of hoping whoever was making that sound isn't being picked up or anything. He said it was to the north. I don't see it, though. Deliver message. A similar hermit to the north. Yeah, in a hut. A hut just as small as that, and there isn't one. I don't get it. You notice a small ledge on the cliff above you. There's an old nest sitting on it, formed of mud and sticks. There might be something inside it. However, it's about 50 feet up, and there are no convenient handholds which could help you get up there. You probably won't be able to make your way up the sheer surface, but it couldn't hurt to try. Too much. You only make it about 10 feet up before you tumble back down, bruising your backside. After a few more attempts, you give up. If only you had someone with you who could fly up there and look around. Sure. Yeah, I don't see the hut he's talking about. It must be somewhere. We'll find it eventually, I imagine. Let's see. You discover a shabby outpost set alertly out in the middle of nowhere. It's a small, crude wooden building. Inside, you can hear loud, boisterous talking. It's a small group of men, laughing and listening. Listening carefully, you manage to pick out a few words. It's enough to tell that whoever's in there, they aren't Roman. I think actually, I think we'll take a look in there in the next episode. It's been more than a half hour, so I think we'll have to pause here. Maybe we'll find that hut in the next episode or something, I don't know. And we'll probably also take a look up in that area, see what's up there. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44, that is Julius, Augustus, Septimus, and Octavius. This has been a Nethergate Resurrection Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.